top dude. And he knew that the Lord had to die, and he was playing his position. Part of the Lord's sacrifice, man. You know?
Yeah, he said that it's expedient for one man to die for the whole nation.
And he was talking about the Lord Yahushua. He knew. Okay. This is John. Chapter 5, verse 24. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that heareth my word and believeth on him that sent me hath everlasting life, and shall not come into condemnation, but is passed from death unto life. Yes, so those that believe on the Lord, believe on the Heavenly Father, because in order to believe on the Heavenly Father, you believe on the Son. Because he sent the Son into this world. And if you believe on the Lord, the Heavenly Father, you believe on his Son. Because you believe that the words that we're saying is true. And you have everlasting life. Okay? You don't have no condemnation on your soul, man. Okay? The Lord is going to come back to save you. But you have to continue in that love, man. You have to continue in believing, man. And believing on him.
Yeah, because you got to realize, without Yahweh Shai, there's no New Testament. That's why you have to believe in Yahweh Shai. So that's why you got these Old Testament geeks that don't believe in Yahweh Shai. But if you don't believe in Yahweh Shai, then you're doomed. And it tells you that in the scriptures. If you don't have the Son, you don't have the Father. It's impossible for you to have the Father without the Son, because the Son is what reconciled Israel back to the Father. Without Yahweh Shai in the New Covenant, all of Israel will be destroyed, man, because all of Israel fall away. When you go into 2 Thessalonians, all right, Paul said that the nation of Israel would fall away. There would be a falling away first. All of Israel was done away with, so to speak. So if Yahweh Shai didn't come back and reconcile Israel back to the Father, Yahweh would come back and destroy everybody. There would be no elect. There would be no remnant. Alright?
Yep, this is verse 25. Verily, verily, I say unto you, the hour is coming, and now is, when the dead shall hear the voice of the Son of Yahweh, and they that hear shall live. For as the Father hath life in himself, so hath he given to the Son to have life in himself.
Yeah, we're in that time, man. We're in that time that the dead is being risen, because all of Israel was in a dead state.
That's Ezekiel 37. You know, the valley of dry bones.
Yeah, let's get that. And then get Revelation.
Oh, there's more. It says, and hath given him authority to execute judgment, also because he is the Son of Man. So everything, the things you do, the sins you commit, it doesn't go to the Heavenly Father, man. It goes to Yahweh Shai, and Yahweh Shai just says, hey, go do this, go do that. Because the judgment was given unto him, the power of heaven and earth was given unto him. The demons are in Yahweh Shai's hand now. Okay? Satan himself is in Yahweh Shai's hand now. Alright? Now does the Father hear about it if he wants to? But he's the main guy. Okay, he's the boss. Okay, a boss at your work don't have to hear about some peon that got fired. He don't even hear about it. He just knows how many workers he needs. And he needs them now. You don't care how good of a worker you were or not. You fuck up and you're through, man. It's the same thing with the Lord. Now, the Lord isn't unrighteous. He gives you a place to repent. He gives you mercy. But don't abuse that, man. Okay? You don't abuse that grace. Just like the time we're in now is a grace period. You don't abuse it, man. Because who knows when the Lord is going to take away the internet? Who knows when the Lord is going to unleash Esau, man? This damn vile beast, man. To have fun. Because he created Esau, his sword, the wicked, for a day of evil, man. And they're going to come out sparing none, man. Like madmen. Okay? That's what they were created for. That's what the so-called white man was created for. All right, the wicked for the day of evil. He might use his strong hand in that day.
No, I didn't see it.
Oh, he had a little baby head.
Oh, yeah, the baby head?
It was like this one, bro. You see it in the back.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a little baby head. You know?
That dude's gonna get chopped to pieces.
You know, but that's what he created these devils for, man. You know, that's why there's grace and mercy for the elect. And we don't know who the elect are, all right? Because there's brothers out there preaching this word that don't got a camera for YouTube, okay? There's brothers out here that you know, they just heard the word, they watch and they go out and preach. And they don't have it in their means to upload on YouTube. They might be in a third world country where they access this only by some government-funded internet, man. To where internet's legal. Like places like Korea, they can't even go on YouTube. You know? Brother might be in Sri Lanka or some weird country to where all he could do is preach. Okay?
Well, that's why it tells you in Isaiah that the elect are gonna go throughout the four corners of the earth, man, and they're gonna go to the people that weren't able to hear the word.
And that's what we're doing right now. By this word, preaching this word is going out throughout the four corners of the earth. You know, because when the day of judgment comes, when the men of the Lord get spiritual power, okay, it's gonna be too late for a lot of you people, man. Okay?
No, that is Gordon here. I don't remember where it's at.
Ezekiel 37, remember?
Oh no, I was looking for something else.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, because it tells you in the scriptures that the elect are going to go throughout the four corners of the earth, gathering those that pretty much these different countries that don't have access to the internet, that don't have a means to hear this word, man. The elect are going to go through and give them the word, man, and they're going to be saved.
There's one in Revelation 14. Because we are preaching this word now, you know, and it's going to come to where people are going to start waking up 1,000 a day, 2,000 a day, okay, and hey, we're just doing our job, man. Okay, all praises to the Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, so this is Matthew 24 and 14, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. Yes, this word, this gospel, the good news, is going to be preached unto all nations, man. Okay, for a witness against all nations. That way they know what's coming. Okay, that way they heard the judgment. Okay, because the judgments are set. Okay, and we go out there and we publish the judgments, the mercies, the miracles, the things that are going to take place. And then the Lord brings it to pass. Just like before they go put a dope ass movie in the theater. Okay, before they make the movie public, they put trailers out on the TV. Okay? So what we are is we're publishing this movie, all right, before the grand finale, before it actually shows, you know? And then when the day comes, you're gonna know, like, hey, that movie was already told, all right? Because you know, people talk about a movie that's only shown in theaters, and people miss the movie. Okay? But when people miss the movie, they're like, man, I missed it. Dang. Or a TV show, dang, I missed it. All right, people are going to be ashamed when they miss the Lord coming to bring mercy. The guys that knew the will of the Lord and didn't do it. The They're gonna be like, wow, I could have been in that chariot. Fuck. And then they're gonna see the nukes coming. Okay, for a witness unto all nations, man. It says, and then shall the end come. So we're gonna be out here publishing this truth. Publishing and putting it on YouTube. Men are gonna get spiritual power to go to different parts of the world to preach the word. Okay? As a witness to everybody, man. Go to a country where there's 100,000, right, or a city where there's 100,000 heathen and like 2 Jakes, man. Only to wake up those 2 Jakes and condemn all the heathen, man. Then what's gonna come? Earthquakes, tsunamis, volcanoes. That's why these earthquakes are hitting places like Mexico, man. Because we're preaching this word, and you damn Mexicans, you Issacharites, don't wake up, man. So the Lord is shaking terribly the earth so you can wake up, man. Wake up out your fucking sleep, man. Okay? Because he's doing those things so you could question, like, why are these things happening? Earthquakes back to back, that's not just a natural disaster.
Yeah, Isaiah 66 and 19. It says, and I will set a sign among them, and I will send those that escape of them unto the nations, to Tarshish, Pul, and Lud, that draw the bow, to Tubal and Javan, to the isles afar off, that have not heard my fame, neither have seen my glory, and they shall declare my glory among the Gentiles. And they shall bring all your brethren for an offering unto the Lord out of all nations, upon horses, and in chariots, and in litters, and upon mules, and upon swift beasts, to my holy mountain Jerusalem, saith the Lord, as the children of Israel bring an offering in a clean vessel into the house of the Lord. So all these different kids and these different people around the world, they haven't heard of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, they're going to be brought to the Lord, man. They're going to be saved. But this is let's go into Ezekiel 37. That's the one I was looking for. This is Ezekiel 37 and 1. The hand of the Lord was upon me and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord and set me down in the midst of the valley which was full of bones, and caused me to pass by them round about. And behold, there were many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry. All right, talking about Jake, man. And then there, you go into the valley, and you got this dude over pissing. This place is done, man.
He's showing you that it's Rome. Because the Romans, they were pissing in pots, and shitting pots, and they just throw it out the window, man. Okay? This is Rome all over again, man. There is no new thing under the sun. Alright?
Yep. This is the golden city.
Yeah, the golden showered city.
That's why when you walk up and down these streets, you don't smell anything but piss and shit, man. And fossil fuels. You go into this is the valley of the shadow of death, because this place is going to be destroyed by nuclear missiles, man. All right, there ain't nothing but death coming to America. There ain't nothing but death coming to America, man. Alright? And it says that, and lo, they were very dry, because, 2/3 of Israel don't have the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Alright, they don't have the understanding of these scriptures. Alright, 2/3 of Israel don't know who Yahweh Shem Yahushai actually is, man. They go by what these different pastors and these preachers tell them. Or they're just straight up atheists, or they're straight up Satan worshipers, man. They don't believe in the Lord at all. Or they believe in, they're in that Egyptology stuff. They want to be Moors. They want to be all different types of stupidity, man. But they don't want to come back to these scriptures. Which, when you read the scriptures, it clearly tells you that you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the actual chosen people of the Lord, man.
it tells you that we're actually his children. Okay. Just like Yahweh Shai is the only begotten. Hey, we are begotten of Yahweh Shai. The elect.
Yeah, the elect are the first fruits, man. The first creatures that Yahweh Shai created. And you can see a rhythm of order that's taught throughout the scriptures, man. You know, the Most High created Yahweh Shai, the only begotten of the Son. And then you had Yahweh Shai that created the first fruits, the elect. All right, those that will be joint heirs with Yahweh Shai. All right, those that helped Yahweh Shai in creating the universe, man. So the bones were very dry. Verse 3 it says, "And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live?" And when you look at Jake and the state that they're in, that's a very relevant question. Can these bones live? Can life actually be breathed into these dry bones, man? Is there any chance for them to even be able to be saved, man? And the way Jake is, hey man, a lot of Jakes are homosexuals, man. A lot of Jakes are transgender, man. Alright, the biggest liberals in America, when you look at California, the majority of California is you Jakes, man. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The majority you people that are all into all this LGBT stuff, man, are you Jakes, man. They're the majority of the people that's cool with this LGBT stuff, man. That's pure wickedness, man. LGBT in itself is completely against the scriptures, man. Lesbian, bisexual, gay, transgender, transvestite, man.
Now it's going to be pedophile at the end of it. Now they want to add pedophiles into that, and it's truth, man. Because I heard about it like last year that they wanted to add the B at the end of the LGBTQ. Or LGBTQ or whatever B. They wanted a B for pedophile. And they show you like on an episode of Law and Order that was like even 3 or 4 years ago before that. And they caught him for molesting a little boy, popping him in his booty. And he was a damn Edomite doing it. Showing you the sickness of you damn crackers, man. Alright? He said that was his orientation. He said that he loved it. He loves children. And he tried to use the homosexual, the sodomite thing. They can love what they love. How come I can't love what I love? You allow certain states for a man to marry a horse, certain states for a man to marry another man, a woman to marry another woman. How come I can't marry a child if I want?
Literally always.
And that's what they're pushing. And they were doing that on a TV show. Esau has what you call hidden in plain sight. Okay? Where he'll push things out there for you damn simpletons, you peons, to see and say, oh, that'll never happen. And then when it comes to happen, you bug out. This is an outrage.
Well, it has to be, because look at when they legalized homosexuality throughout the United States, it was because there was an uproar for it, man. All right, you had all these different movements. They were crying out for justice in the LGBTQ community, whatever, LGBT, whatever. And then so they finally legalized it. So take a look at the trend that's happening right now. You notice that right now there's a boom, there's a huge boom in child sex trafficking right now. There's a huge boom in child pornography right now. There's people by the droves that are being put into these prison systems for having sex with children, for being in possession of child porn, producing child porn, for sex trafficking of minors. All right, this actually is what you would call, what Esau would call an epidemic right now. So what's going to happen when it's causing too much money for them to be putting all these people in jail, for them to be conducting all these different sting operations, these different investigations into these different rings, man? There's going to be a call for them to pretty much legalize it, man. And that's not far-fetched. That's really not far-fetched. Because the same thing happened with the homosexuals, man. They pretty much they had a big movement, LGBT. They had a big movement to where they demanded that it be legalized.
And that's what they're gonna do for pedophiles, man. Okay, they did it for bestiality, which they call it zoophilias. They call it zoophilia. So they're gonna do it for pedophilia because the Edomites, all right, Edomites are gonna gather up and they're gonna march for it. Just like they march for their guns and all that, they're gonna march for that. You know? And if the Lord allows this place to continue on, it's gonna be legalized, man. It's going to be. And then the pedophile is gonna be your child's teacher. It's gonna be the sheriff in the vehicle that comes and checks on your house. It's gonna be the doctor that puts his fingers in your child. Okay?
Which it already is.
It is. But they're going to legalize it to an extent to where he could do these nasty things to your child and you won't even have a say against it. Okay? They'll just take your children from you, man. That's why we got to be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove with everything we do, because, you know, we could have children and then the children, you know, are being fucking taught these bugged out doctrines, man. Being taught all this madness, being fucking touched and shit, man.
Which that's what happened, because these school systems, they make it a part of their teachings now.
Curriculum.
They make it a part of their curriculum to teach about homosexuality, to teach about trans. They call it educating them on LGBT. And that's why they want to make it illegal. I mean, there's certain places where that are so-called progressive that if you don't allow your children to choose what gender they want to be, if they want to be a boy or a girl as a child, as a young child, then you can have your kids taken away from you. You could be seen as an unfit parent.
Yeah.
And they want to go as far as to be able to put you in jail, man. Call it child abuse. Because you want to deny your children rights. Since when in the world did children ever have rights? That's a new thing. That's very foreign. Especially when you go into the scriptures. Children don't have rights. Children ain't able to choose what they want to do. If that was your child, you use whatever you wanted your child to do. But now you're a bad parent. Now you're a bad parent if you have that way of thinking about you. You're abusive to your children if you're actually a man and you discipline your children. You're an abusive parent.
This is Isaiah chapter 19, verse 14. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof.
Yeah, perverse spirit. In the midst of all these people, because all these people, they think alike, man. They're under the same doctrine of Satan, man. The majority of these people, the vast majority of these people, they think like that. They think that if you discipline your kids, you're a bad person, man. You're an unfit parent. They actually, when my baby was born, they actually called the social services on me because I was refusing vaccinations. I was refusing shots. And they said that I was being controlling and abusive. And they actually brought the social worker in. And if it wasn't for my woman saying like, no, I'm with this too. I'm down with this. They could have took me out of the equation, man. If my woman would have been against me, if she would have been like these other demons that's out here, because a lot of these demons that's out here, you try and say, no, I want my kids to be this, or I don't want these vaccinations. They'll bug out, man. Because women, they don't want a man to rule over them. Shit. My woman, hey, look, I ain't even gonna go into it, but the fact is that it could have gone any kind of way. If my woman would have decided, oh yeah, he is being controlling, he's being abusive, he's being emotionally abusive, he's not letting me make my own decisions. She could have easily took the kid, she could have took the baby from me, and just did whatever she wanted. that's the way this society's set up, because it's a perverse spirit that's mingled in Babylon.
Yeah, it's just like these homosexuals, these people you see up and down the street. Before we even came to camp, okay, we've seen this damn Latino. He was a man with cornrows wearing a fucking dress, man. A red dress. I seen him a little while ago. I turned my head. You know, you gotta. Hey, sometimes you can't even turn to look in Babylon, man. Okay, I turned to look, and he was on the block again with a different colored dress, man. A grown man wearing a dress. That's a perverse spirit, man. That's a demon. Okay? And they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit.
As a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. They have caused everybody to err. You got look. Not that long ago, if you were a slut, all right, if you had sex with a man and you didn't stay with that man, he didn't marry you, all right, you were considered a slut, man, and you were shamed. You brought shame upon your household. Nowadays, you got these women that are complete sluts, got bodies on them, man. These bitches will have sex with a different guy every day out of the week, man. Maybe multiple dudes. These bitches be having orgies and shit. These bitches be getting trains ran on them. And they walk around like they're some kind of a prized possession.
Yeah, Con, because back in the day, if you had sex with a man had sex with a woman and he didn't marry her, that was a shameful thing. Okay, because that man is supposed to marry you. He's supposed to keep you. And your family will look at you weird, like, oh man, I feel sorry for you, or what's wrong with you? Nowadays, you'll have the mom fucking want her daughter to go out and have sex with multiple men and award her, applaud her for those things, man. Okay? If your daughter had a child from some man, or the man she's with, the mom will actually try to set it up to where another man will pop her to get her pregnant, man. And say, oh, I'm gonna give you children. I'm gonna help you guys have children. That's how perverse the society's become. To where a woman's own mother will tell her, go out there and have sex with as many men as you want until you find the right one. Meanwhile, the right one was the one that took her virginity. That's how fucked up it is out here, man.
You got bitches that walk up and down the street, tons of makeup on, wearing skimpy ass clothing, revealing clothes, just asking to be boned, man. Straight up sluts, man. Just by looking at you, you can tell it's a straight up slut. Well, look at you like she's better than you, man.
Happens all the time.
Look at you like she's better than you, man.
Like last week when I seen that slut walking with her ass and, looking good, of course, but that's supposed to be something private, not for every man to see. And I was like, oh wow. She's like, you guys look busted. 2 weeks ago, I was sick, busted. You guys look busted.
Bitch, you look slutty.
What am I supposed to look like? Am I supposed to look like I just came out the fucking Bellagio driving a Rolls Royce? No, man, I'm a fucking slave in this society. Okay? Now in the kingdom, you ain't gonna say that. Because in the kingdom, I'm gonna be looking like fine gold. Every Israelite's gonna be fine gold. Israelite men is gonna be fine gold in the kingdom. It tells you that.
It tells you that.
Okay? So fuck what these people gotta say now. Okay? Do I look crusty? Hey, it tells you that we're gonna be out here prophesying in sackcloth. So of course I'm gonna look crusty, man. Okay? I didn't have my floss apparel on. I'm out here doing the work. Okay?
Yeah, completely worthless piece of shit, good for nothing slut will look at you like she's better than you.
Hey,
and you bitches are worthless, man.
She's simple and knoweth nothing.
You bitches are completely worthless, good for nothing.
She don't even know how to cook. Okay? She go to cook, something's off, or you'll catch her making the same thing every fucking week.